video, we're going to take a look at the analytics that you get when you assign a video activity in Google Classroom. Let's click on the Classwork tab and we'll go down to our Animal Research topic and we'll click on the video activity that we assigned. We will click Review Your Work. This is going to give you an overview of how the students did on this particular activity. If Google Classroom was able to gather any insights based on student work, they would appear here. There are no insights for this particular assignment. You're going to see a breakdown of how all of your students did on each question. You'll notice that the dark green check mark indicates that the student correctly answered that question on their first attempt. If there is a light green check mark, that means that they answered the question correctly after 2 or more attempts. And if this is a bubble like this, it's ungraded. This is that short answer question that we added, and we will have to manually go in and review those answers. You'll also see some insight based on the questions within the video activity, and we can see how each student did on each question. Now, remember, in video activities, a student can skip the question and not answer it, but they will need to answer it correctly before it will be recorded on here. So this is a little bit, not a great judge of whether or not the students answered the question that ultimately got it correct, but they could have answered it 4 times before they figured out the correct answer. So just take that with a little grain of salt. So if we want an individual breakdown of how the students did on each question here, problem 2, only 3 students got that right. We can click into that and we can see that Chandler got it right after multiple attempts. Phoebe hasn't answered it. Monica also had multiple attempts to get this correct. Ross hasn't answered it. Neither has Rachel. And Joey got it correct on the first try. Now, notice that here for Rachel, she did not attempt that question. She skipped that question. So that's why it does not have a check mark in it. If we wanted to go through and grade those open-ended questions, we can simply click on the open-ended question. Now we're on Joey's assessment and how he answered each of the questions. We can scroll down to that last question, make sure that that answer is correct, and we can change that to correct or incorrect depending on how the student did on that particular question. And then you'll notice that that changes Joey's score to a 6 out of 6. After we have reviewed each student's work, we've checked the open-ended question and we've assigned that a grade, we can then return that assignment to the student so that they are able to see the grade that you have left.